Hello, this is a short little video on using algebra and equations to solve basic economic market supply and demand problems. And in this situation I have two equations here. I have a demand equation and I have a supply equation. And the first thing I want to do is I want to actually demonstrate that the demand equation reflects the law of demand and the supply equation reflects the law of supply. So the first thing to keep in mind with this type of problem is that graphically, when we think about a demand equation, it is a downward sloping curve. Right? As the price goes down on something, people demand a higher quantity of it. And mathematically, this is often described as a change in quantity demand as a change in price, and that this is negative. It is, as we would say, less than zero. So this equation, because of the minus sign in front of the price, tells me that there is a negative relationship between these two variables, which is the key idea in the law of demand. Over here with supply, well, the supply curve in a market is upward sloping. And the idea here is that the change in the quantity supplied to the change in price is greater than zero. It is a positive relationship. And the addition sign here in front of the 3p lets me know that the relationship between price and quantity supplied is positive. So that is my supply curve. So the next thing I want to do is I want to figure out what is the equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity in this market. So let me erase this first, get rid of all of this. And we'll start off basically solving this algebraically, right? Basically, what you would normally have in economics is a quantity, a price, you'd have a demand curve, you would have a supply curve, and what we're trying to do is find out the equilibrium price that reflects an equilibrium quantity. And the idea of equilibrium is that there is a single price in a marketplace where the quantity demanded will be equal to the quantity supplied. That is our equilibrium idea. So to start off solving this, we're going to start off by laying down the equilibrium condition. Quantity demand equals quantity supplied. And we will fill in the information here. Quantity demand is 22 minus P equals 2 plus 3P. And if I do my algebra correctly, I should get 4P equals 20, which will give me a price of 5. So the idea here is my quantity supplied, quantity demand will be equal at a point where the price is 5. And I just need to find out my quantity now. So what I will do is I will substitute this price of 5 into my two equations. Quantity demand is 22 minus P, which will give me 17. Quantity supplied is 2 plus 3P, right, which in this case is 5, which will give me 15, 17, and you can see here that when I substitute in the price of 5 into both my quantity demand and my quantity supply equations, I get the same quantity, 17. That is my equilibrium quantity. And it is always good to double check your work by substituting your price into both equations to making sure that you get the same quantity. So pretty simple, basic algebra, but it's important to kind of go through the steps of it to make sure you get all the key pieces of information that you need.